It's time for the best of the Burg. We celebrate what makes Lynchburg such a great place to live, work, and play. The best of the Burg will tell you about the best places to visit, the best food, the best entertainment, and the people that make us proud to call the Hill City home. Best of the Burg is brought to you by Bank of the James, where community and banking come together for good. Learn more at bankofthejames.bank. Here are your hosts, Mary and Biscuit.
Welcome to Best of the Burg. Mary White along with Anthony Biscuit McAvoy. If you're listening live, it's a beautiful Friday afternoon in Lynchburg, and gang's all here as we have a big show for you today. Our show is presented by Bank of the James, and we welcome back to the program none other than Jimmy Davis himself. Hi, Jimmy.
Hello, Mary.
And
hello, Biscuit.
Always the diva complaining about your headphones being too loud.
I got to watch what I say. Not the diva. You had my headphones turned up. I couldn't even hear myself think.
And Anthony's response, Biscuit's response was, talk to the hand.
Yeah. Biscuit always helps me out. But I still can only use one side at a time because
they're too loud.
Yeah, that's okay. Biscuit, leave it just like it is.
Biscuit's
Perfect.
not even looking at you.
I know.
Jimmy.
There's a screen in my way.
Yeah, that's right. So welcome to the show, everybody. Mary White along with Anthony Biscuit McAvoy. It's presented by Bank of the James. Jimmy Davis is here to be my guesty bestie, at least for a little bit. And we're kicking it right off with...
Partnering for Good. Brought to you by Bank of the James. Learn more at bankofthejames.bank.
Jimmy always brings along guests that are beneficiaries of all the different organizations and events that Bank of the James sponsors. And so today we have, you want to introduce Heather?
Heather Miller or Allen.
Allen now.
Heather
yes.
Allen. I get them confused. She's still on my phone as Heather Miller.
Okay.
Heather Allen with the Arc of Central Virginia, an incredible organization that the bank supports. We have a lot of supporters over there. And they've got this awesome music festival coming up. It's that time of the year, so
isn't it great?
We want to do what we could to help them promote it.
It's great. Isn't it great that spring has sprung and now we can have these outdoor events again? And I know that everybody's looking forward to the music festival.
Yes.
So Heather, welcome to the program.
Thank you so much.
And did you notice that Jimmy has his green on, like it's still St. Patrick's Day? I did. It's good. I like it.
Well, thank you. My wife hates it. She's like, it's the only thing I have that's not blue, and the only thing clean right now. So.
It looks very nice. It looks
you.
very, very springy. So Heather, the
Yes.
Arc of Virginia, of Central Virginia, the music festival. Tell us about it.
Yes. So April 12th, which is a Saturday, we are hosting our third annual Arcade Music Festival. We are super excited about this event. This is actually the Arc's biggest fundraiser of the year. We have 4 bands and that are hitting the arcade stage. We have Tony Cam and the Funk All-Stars. We have the Dundies. We have a new band, actually, that is debuting at the Clubhouse this weekend. I'll give them a little shout out, but they're called Tenfo, Tenfo. So, and then we have a really special guest that actually it'll be his first time coming to Lynchburg, but his name is Gifted Hands. He's an incredible rapper, clean rapper, I will add, and he's joining us from Virginia Beach and hitting the arcade stage. So it's going to be a great year for this festival.
I'm really looking forward to seeing him. I mean, Heather's told me quite a bit about him. It just sounds like that's going to be all those other bands are awesome too. I have to shout out to Tony. But it's going to be fun.
All right, so the date again is April 12th.
Saturday, April 12th.
Saturday,
yes.
April 12th.
From 1 to 7.
And so it goes all day. And the location is?
So it's located at The Field, which is 1508 Bedford Avenue. It's right next to the Arc, actually. It's a great accessible field. We'll also be having food trucks, and we have a really large kid zone that has lots of activities for the littles. We've got face painting, petting zoo, inflatables. We're bringing our mobile arcade back to Arcade this year, so that's a lot of fun too.
This is the third year that you've done it.
It is,
Has the
yes.
weather cooperated?
No.
Okay.
Well,
okay.
So the first year we had the 60-mile-per-hour windstorm and moved the entire festival in 24 hours to that Sunday with a bunch of awesome volunteers.
I remember that. Yes. Okay.
And then last year it was gorgeous. It was like 65 and sunny, but the wind showed up again.
Mm-hmm.
So just know it's probably going to be windy, but we're counting on it being sunny again. So.
And it's just, I mean, this is a festival. It's a music festival. What, folks bring their chairs?
Yeah, bring your chairs, bring your blankets. Just spend the day with us. Just hang out. It's such a cool vibe. It's just a laid back vibe. We have everything for everybody at this festival.
Yeah, and I think having the 4 bands makes it really nice. It's not like you're just going to see one show.
Yes.
And so like last year, I just dropped in and out a couple times. I don't even remember what times, but it's kind of a come and go sort of thing, and it's really good. Show up anytime.
Mm-hmm. There's so much diversity with the music. So
I'm at the website now, which is arcofcva.org/arcade.
Yes.
Who came up with the name Arcade? Is that like
it's kind of like Live Aid,
Farm
but
Aid?
yeah,
I think it's
exactly.
great. I think it's great. So I'm up the website, and Biscuit, are you familiar with Tony Cam and the Funk All Stars?
Yeah.
Are you? Yeah. You've heard him play.
Yeah.
This is like they're just so fun and to dance to and to listen to, and just that's going to be great. That's a vibe. And then, are you familiar with the Dundies? Now, did they get their name from The Office and the Dundies? That, do you think it's spelled differently?
it is spelled differently,
but it's when people hear that name, you think Michael Scott, and he gives out the Dundies. But they look, what would you call that vibe? It's 4 of them. Is it like the Beatles, maybe?
Well, I will be honest, that picture's a little misleading on the website because anybody that follows and goes to a Dundee show knows that Danny usually ends up shirtless about halfway through. So.
Okay, that's so they start in like nice suits and end up shirtless. So that
Well, Biscuit is going to be their guest singer, so that's going to be worth coming out to.
Not sure that's happening.
And then you mentioned Tenfo.
Yes. So
and that is, it looks like it's all one word, TENFO.
TENFO. And they are a classic rock, modern hard country outlaw band. So Chris Stennett, Joe Litchford, they have been part of other bands in the past and then have come together to create Tenfo. So I'm super excited. This will be their first festival they're performing at. So.
And you say they're playing?
They're playing at the Clubhouse tomorrow night.
Okay.
So if you want to go check them out before Arcade, head over to the Clubhouse. So it's going to be an exciting show.
And then you mentioned there's Food Truck Alley. There'll be all kinds of good stuff.
Yes, we have great stuff. We have barbecue from Black Pit Barbecue. We have the Raven Woodfire Pizza. His pizzas are phenomenal. El Cabritos is bringing their truck out. They are a staple in Lynchburg. So, and then we have Cravables ice cream, and they actually have a brand new food truck that they'll be bringing out to Arcade. So we're really excited to have them as well.
And you'll have craft beer, wine, cider.
3 Roads Brewing is bringing over their delicious brews. They're actually going to be debuting a new brew for spring. So that will be debuting at Arcade as well.
Be the first to try it, right?
Yeah, that's right. And then we have, we have wine and cider. So we, to fit all the palates.
Yeah, a great music festival, Arcade, to benefit the Arc of Central Virginia, and remind folks about the Arc and what you do. Yeah.
So the Arc of Central Virginia, we are a human rights and community-based organization that's been around for over 60 years now. And our mission is really to just come alongside of people with intellectual and or developmental disabilities and their families and just help provide resources, skills, activities that help them thrive and choose how they want to spend their days.
And Heather, for folks who are interested and want to attend Arcade, what do they need to do?
So there's lots of ways you can access us. We are on Instagram as Arcade Music Festival. We're on Facebook at Arcade Music Festival. You can go to ARC, which is ARC, of CVA.org, and go to our Arcade Music Festival landing page to get your tickets.
This is going to be a great time.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, and it's 3 weeks away, right? 3 weeks.
I think
Yeah,
we're
3 weeks
21
tomorrow,
days
right?
away.
Yeah, which will be here before we know it.
Of course it will.
And we're going to be Fingers crossed for no wind.
That's right.
Sunny
It's
skies
sunny.
and no
Sunny
wind.
skies,
just
no rain.
Exciting to see, the weather is changing.
Yes.
It's like, I'm ready to get outside and,
Yes. It
just
is.
do something.
Yes.
And it's been so up and down, so it's going to be a good event.
Yeah, we're excited about Arcade. And again, arcofcva.org is the website where folks can get more information and social media, that kind of thing.
Absolutely. Yes.
All right. And then, Jimmy, you guys support the Arc of Central Virginia and the music festival, but what are some of the other things going on at Bank of the James?
Oh, gosh, I've been out of town for a little bit, and having come back, I've got a bazillion things going on.
Yeah.
We just opened a branch on Timberlake Road, so you can well, I didn't pass on the way out here, didn't go quite far enough
Right.
out. And it's just busy. It's that time of the year, especially for, my job is mainly working with charitable organizations and community relations things. And we just finished up 2 weeks of the readathon for Lynchburg City Schools, and that was phenomenal. I didn't know that elementary school children could be so loud, but they are tremendously loud. But that was a really, really cool event. Leland Melvin was part of it.
Yeah,
and,
we
the
talked
hill,
to
what's the
Southpaw.
Southpaw. I knew the green cat had a name.
That's right. You're kind of a green cat today.
Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Biscuit can't even tell because he's colorblind. But
yeah, so lots of
that's a green
things
shirt
happening.
that Jimmy. We talked to some of the winners from Perrymont Elementary on the morning line, and the organizers and the organizers of the whole kind of overarching readathon, and those kids read hundreds of thousands of minutes, and they raised tens of thousands of dollars, and they had a good time.
Yeah, I was at Sandusky and R.S. Payne both yesterday for their presentations, and I think Sandusky, their goal was 100,000 minutes, which is a whole lot of minutes, and they ended up with like 110,000, and the kids are excited.
Yeah.
I don't ever recall being excited as a kid about reading. Not being funny, it's just, but and the teachers and principals, they're just dynamic. They really know how to get those kids jazzed up. It's really fun to see.
And they're loud too.
They're
The
very
kids.
loud, no question.
So do you read now? Do you read
I
as
do.
an adult? What do you enjoy?
I typically enjoy whatever my wife's book club is just finished with. But right now I'm reading In the Garden of Good and Evil because we were just down in Savannah.
Yeah.
And sort of that, it's a really good book. I had not read it before. And, some fiction, some historical fiction, some nonfiction, just whatever.
That book, I think somebody should write one about like that about Lynchburg, with all the characters, because it's based on the true characters. And yeah.
Well, we won't name names, but I've got a big list in mind that we could write that about.
I think you'd be in it.
I know.
And
I
Biscuit,
definitely
too?
would not. Biscuit,
Heather, you a
definitely.
big reader?
So I go through phases.
Yeah.
I go through phases.
So the readathon. Well, thanks for supporting the readathon, though, with the Lynchburg City Schools. Thanks to Bank of the James and for so many things that you support.
Yeah, well, I feel very fortunate to, be with Bank of the James. It's, I coordinate and try to attend as many events as I can, but it really is a very generous bank. And it's nice to work for an organization like that really does reach out into the community and, sort of do the right thing. So it's been fun.
Thanks, Jimmy, and thanks, Heather.
Thank you.
For being here with us on Best of the Burg. And we're going to take a break and come back. What do we got coming up, Biscuit?
Maybe some national days, maybe some March Madness.
Of course, we're going to talk about March Madness because it's Biscuit, and he loves March Madness. And who doesn't love March Madness this time of year? So we'll be right back on Best of the Burg.
Stay tuned for more of the Best of the Burg. Welcome back to the Best of the Burg. Know an awesome band from the Burg? Let us know on Facebook at WLNI Best of the Burg.
I feel kind of dumb, but I miss you.
So tell me why you miss me, why you're always calling. I can't even bear it, just a dawn and part of falling. Always in your feelings, crying and bawling. Said that we were done, now you're coming back crawling. So tell me why you miss me, why you're always calling. I can't even.
Welcome back to Best of the Burg. Mary White along with Anthony Biscuit McAvoy rolling through. And we love to focus on local bands, local musicians, local music festivals, as we just talked about with Heather, with the Arc of Central Virginia. But this is Eli and is it Ma Baby?
M.A.
M.A. Baby. And the song's called Miss Me. Eli is an upcoming artist, just released this song produced by M.A. Baby. You can find it now on all platforms. It's a great song.
Yeah.
Let's get ready for this segment. Let's do some national days. And I know, Biscuit, that you want to talk about March Madness because you are decked out in your Florida attire.
Well, I was going to say we could get to it at the end of the segment. But just a couple national days that happened throughout the week. And we're going to start all the way at Thursday. Thursday is National Proposal Day.
This past Thursday was?
This past Thursday was National Proposal Day. And apparently this is on the fall and summer equinoxes.
Okay. Because it was spring. First day of spring. Okay.
Exactly. And then Thursday also National Ravioli Day, which, great Italian dish.
Mm-hmm.
Friday, today, is National French Bread Day, which I'm not sure what the difference between a French bread and a baguette is. I assume they're the same thing. Do you know if there's a difference?
I don't know now that you bring it up. I thought I knew what French bread is, and now that you bring it, I don't know. A baguette? I don't know.
Sunday, National Tamale Day. It's also National Chip and Dip Day. And then Sunday also is National Puppy Day. So are you going to get a puppy on Sunday?
No. It would be nice, but we already have one dog. The thing about puppies is that then they grow up. They're so cute and wonderful, and then they grow up to be big dogs that require lots and lots and lots of attention. And as they get older, they require even more attention. So I think we're not in the puppy phase right now. Yeah. How about you? You have a cat. Would you get a puppy?
I don't think the puppy thing is happening anytime soon. I found out during Lynchburg's homecoming back in October when I had a friend come over, and she brought her puppy. And Chase was not very happy that there was a puppy in the house. And by not happy, I mean he hid the entire time the puppy was there.
Your cat hid the entire time.
He hid the entire time. Which I'm like, dude, you're 8 years old. You should have just established some dominance.
Maybe he had not been around dogs.
I don't know, because I think he was like a stray cat for a majority of his life. Before they got him to the Humane Society. So I'm not 100% sure what his experience with dogs is. But yeah, him and Piper were not vibing very well.
We had that situation with our friends brought a dog over. It was before we had a dog. We had two cats. And it was a Chihuahua Golden Retriever mix, which is that's an odd combination, but
that's interesting.
The dog is running around the house. It's kind of hyper, and all of a sudden we're having dinner. We realize the dog is quiet, and we went to look for it, and our two cats had it trapped in the bathroom, and it was curled up into the corner in the dog version of a fetal position. And you know how cats they're very quiet. They do that. That's what they were doing. And that dog was so scared. Our cats established the dominance that your dog should have. Your cat should have.
Chase was just like, I want nothing to do with it. I'm just going to go and hide. And I was like, dude, she's like, you both are approximately the same size. I'm telling it. He wasn't having any of it. But Mary, we've got a couple minutes left in the segment. Do you want a March Madness update? Because there is a local team that is currently
yes, we have a team
play.
Playing as we speak. If you're listening live on Friday, if you're listening to the replay Saturday morning, this is not going to help you. You'll know the result. But yes, give us the live result for the Lady Flames.
As of right now, the Liberty Lady Flames, who are playing in Lexington, Kentucky, against the 4th-seeded Kentucky Wildcats, about to be under 8 minutes left in the second quarter, currently down 11, 28-17 to the Kentucky Wildcats. Right now, that's the only other one other game going on the women's side of the tournament, and then of course the men's tournament, I believe, should have a game underway as of right now. Should have another one going shortly. And then the Liberty men play at 10:10 tonight, I think. I don't 100% know what channel that game's going to be on, but it'll be on one of the CBS networks. So CBS, TNT, True TV, or TBS.
Okay. So Lady Flame's down early, but
A lot of
still
time.
a lot of time left. And the men are in action tonight, 10-10. As March Madness is happening, it's the first day of the women's tournament.
Yes.
They do Friday, Saturday as their
Yes.
first day. Coming up on Best of the Burg, we're going to get to some events that are happening in the Burg. And speaking of events that are happening in the Burg, the Bunny Hop is coming up at Tharp Funeral Home. Erica Griffin Hall is going to join us to talk about that and much more when Best of the Burg continues.
Hi, this is Brandon Farmer with Bank of the James, and you're listening to the Best of the Burg here on WLNI. Back to Best of the Burg. Mary White, along with Anthony Biscuit McAvoy. We welcome to the studio, and we're going to talk about, it's not the Bunny Hop, it's the Bunny Bash with Erica Griffin Hall, Tharp Funeral Home. Hi, Erica. Welcome back.
Hi. How are you guys doing?
Doing well, and you have your flyer here for the Bunny Bash.
Yes,
and
but I'm sure there'll be plenty of hopping, so don't
there
feel
will
bad.
be. You're right. People will, if they head out to Tharp Funeral Home on Commonwealth Drive in Madison Heights on Saturday, April 12th, they will know what we're talking about.
Yes.
So. All right, so tell us a little bit about what you have planned.
Well, we're going to have a get-together from 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. on the 12th, and we really just want to have an opportunity for families to come together and spend time there. We've been so blessed to serve so many families from that facility, so we like to find opportunities to make use of it in kind of non-funeral related ways. And it also gives our staff the opportunity to spend time with people in non-funeral related, capacities. So we'll have a couple staff members dressed up as well. I think we did convince one person to dress up as the Easter Bunny, so I'm so excited. So that way people have an opportunity to take pictures, and then there will be a bouncy house as well. So for those who are brave enough to bounce in the inflatable house, we'll have that set up. And then for those of you who maybe don't want something as perhaps risky to your joint health, we'll have chalk stations, bubble stations. We'll also have a little stand where kids can come and adopt a little fake baby chick, kind of like a Build-A-Bear, but for baby Easter chicks set up. So that'll be really cool. And then I think there's a couple sack races planned. And then we'll also be handing out all sorts of free snacks, free food. We'll have a couple food trucks set up for folks. So you'll get a little meal ticket and get to have lunch on us. And then also we'll be handing out palms for Palm Sunday. So that's something we usually do every year anyways. But oftentimes a lot of the local churches will be collecting those. So this will give people an opportunity to maybe either take some for themselves or be able to deliver them to their church if they ordinarily didn't get to come by the funeral home to do that. So yeah, a lot of good stuff, and music, of course. So
and Palm Sunday will be the following Sunday or the next day.
Yeah.
Erica, so this is a Bunny Bash. It's just a kind of a community celebration and fun-filled. And as you mentioned, the opportunity for a funeral home to be able to do something like that when a lot of times people are getting there and it's not the most joyful of occasions, obviously. And so you guys are doing this fun thing for the community at your Madison Heights location, and you have other tell us about your other locations. So it's not that they're having a bunny bash, but you're around the community.
Yes. So our Madison Heights location is right off 29 Business. And then we have our Lynchburg location, which is off the Expressway across from Heritage Baptist Church. And then our Bedford location is right off North Bridge Street. And that's actually our kind of original, I kind of call it like the mothership location where it all started. And so that's been there a real long time. And then we also have satellite offices in the Smith Mountain Lake and Roanoke area. And we actually have monthly seminars in all of those locations. So you can always check our website out for that, because we, again, try to have them. There's one happening somewhere every single month, but I think the next few months we've got some on the schedule for probably each of those the last time I checked. So that way, that's an opportunity to, again, engage with us, maybe not at the funeral home, but get to go and maybe have a meal on Tharp and talk to a funeral director, just get an overview of the pre-planning process, and then also get to ask some questions. So I've been doing those every month for a while now, and I have a few teammates that do them in different areas as well. And it's been really positive. We've always gotten such a great response because it's something that is a little bit difficult to talk about. And so instead of just cold calling the funeral home or dropping by and getting the process started that way, which you absolutely can, but if that's not something that, kind of feels right, then maybe coming and having dinner or lunch and getting to make it a little more social, maybe bring, a friend or a family member with you. That seems to be a good way to get that process started in a more comfortable way. So
we're speaking with Erica Griffin Hall. She's in charge of the pre-planning arrangements for Tharp Funeral Home. And remind listeners how you got into this line of work. It's kind of a family affair.
Yes, definitely is. Still is.
Still is.
Yeah. So when I was younger, I remember learning a lot about my funeral director uncle. So he's been a funeral director at Tharp for probably about 25 years now. And this has always been his sole career profession for the most part. And, growing up, it's one of those things you don't realize, like not everyone has a funeral director uncle in the family, So you meet other kids and you talk about like what people in your family do. And I just thought, I haven't come across any other kiddos who have any kind of funeral director or anything in their family. So definitely realized how special that was pretty early on. And then as I got older and we had more conversations about what that job looked like for him and just professionally how it fulfilled him, but also very personally. And also how his strengths that he had naturally ended up making him such a great funeral director. He's just such a patient person with great attention to detail. So you could take those strengths into really a lot of professions, but I think having a funeral director that has those capabilities is just, such a great way to use those gifts. And so I started helping out when I was in college at the office, and eventually, a lot of people were like, hey, you could probably do this if you really wanted to. And so with the help of my uncle being my apprenticeship supervisor and him taking me under his wing, I learned so much. And so I used to serve families on the at-need side, the way most people think of funeral directors as doing, but now I'm solely focused on the pre-arrangement side. So definitely. I'm so grateful for that experience because I really think serving at the at-need side of the funeral experience really helps me when it comes to pre-planning for families and being able to prepare them for things that may or may not come up, and also logistically walking through what they want the days and weeks after something happens to look like, because I've been alongside families in that. And I just got a lot of learning opportunities from being there in that capacity. So I can kind of channel that into pre-planning for them. So
what education? You mentioned you did this while you were in college. Was there special training, special degree?
Yes. So in the state of Virginia, we have a couple different schools that offer 2-year programs for funeral service degrees. And then on top of that, when it comes to being a pre-arrangement funeral director, there's some extra credentials you have to have. So I also have my life insurance license, and then there's continuing education credits every year that I have to make sure that I do that other directors may not have to, that have to do with the legal side of what pre-arrangement laws look like. And those can actually change every year as well. So that's something that I always stay up to date on. And I'm also the person in the office of, hey guys, did you hear this cool new insurance law that's going to affect pre-need? And, I get a little bit of, fake like thumbs up, like, oh yeah, super interesting, Erica. But that's okay. That's my
stay
thing.
on top of it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So.
You mentioned, as we were talking about the national days earlier, that yesterday, Thursday, was National Memory Day. Mm-hmm. And it got us talking before we went on the air with you about people coming to you to make arrangements while they are still have a sound mind, right? Have you had situations where maybe a family is thinking, we wish that mom or dad knew what they wanted for their funeral, but they can't tell us?
Oh yeah, all the time, and that's understandable. I've been in that situation with some of my family members, to be quite honest. So that's something that I think now that we're just more comfortable as a society having conversations around funeral planning and also having conversations around our health. I think in the past that's been a little bit harder to do, and slowly but surely I think we've seen a trend upwards of families being able to communicate about those things. And it's still something that's hard to talk about, even if you have a close family, right? No one wants to admit, hey, I'm feeling like I'm having a neurological decline. Who wants to sit down, and who even wants to admit that to themselves, let alone sit down and talk to their family about it? So it's really, really difficult. But that is something that I think these seminars help do, and hopefully just funeral homes in all communities can be really open door resources for, because then people can come to you and just end up interacting with you sooner in life before any of that is even on the table. Because, in those pre-arrangement conferences with families, it is really hard to watch people pre-plan for their loved one, usually like a parent or something, who has been going through Alzheimer's, dementia, any type of neurological decline. And even if they could have that conversation, it maybe just isn't the best time, because they're not even sure if what their loved one is telling them is rooted in something that is really truly their wishes, because that's in flux, or their memory care is to the point where they really don't have a lot of recent memories. They only have memories of their childhoods and their younger years, because that's kind of trend-wise what you see with dementia and Alzheimer's. And so that conversation is just really not a possibility at all. So it's almost like they're in some ways in a situation that the family is at the time of need if there was no pre-planning, because the very nature of that, the difficulty there is the very person you want to pick up the phone and call and say, hey, what do you want? What should we do? That person can't tell you, right? So it's almost the same thing, except you just haven't lost that person yet. So it can be really upsetting and difficult. But that's part of what we're trying to do, is making sure that we have resources online, we have seminars in all of our locations. So again, it just gives that opportunity. It opens up that door, hopefully before anything like that has taken place for a family.
We're speaking with Erica Griffin Hall, Tharp Funeral Home. And what else do you guys have going on? We want to mention the Bunny Bash, remind folks about that at the end of the conversation. But do you have other things going on?
Well, I do want to say I wasn't sure if I covered it, because this is going to be my favorite part of the Bunny Bash, is that we have a face painting station. And my husband and I have been married just shy of 2 years. And I have yet to see him have his face painted. That's just not an experience we've shared as a couple yet. And I'm really probably going to push a boundary there and see if I can get him to have his face painted like a little bunny to match me. I would really like to have a picture of that forever to kind of lord over him in case I ever need to whip out that, that power card. But also I think it would be so cute. So if you do come, you'll probably find us there, hopefully. And then perhaps a sack race. I definitely think I could probably, I think he will win. I will be honest. I'm just going to say that outright.
I'm not there. I definitely think I could probably, and then you're like, wait a minute, he'll win. Okay.
Yeah. As soon as I started truly picturing it, I was like, what am I thinking? But I don't know. I'm pretty nimble. So I think it could be like it might be like down to the wire, like a photo finish type of situation. But he's very athletic. So yeah,
But
we're going to see.
when you're in that sack, that's the equalizer. It's
It is-
awkward.
Yeah.
It's the great equalizer. But the other thing I was going to say is that you could always like stick a foot out. Then I was like, wait a minute. Not sure that's going to work in a sack.
Exactly. Yeah, it's designed. I wonder if that was the motivation behind sack races. Like someone got sick of racing people like normally and was like, everyone keeps tripping me up. So then they thought, you know what, we'll just race in sacks, and then no one can.
Levels the playing field.
Yeah.
And especially if you don't have a literal level playing field, that can make it even more.
Yeah,
It'll
it'll
make the sack races even better.
Well, and we have luckily where our location is, it's a nice flat lot. It's a really nice little area, but there is like a slight slope, I think on the one end of the parking lot. So yeah, for those of you who are looking for an extra challenge, yeah, see if you can sack race down the hill, up the hill. So I don't know, we'll see how many like snow cones I've had, and if that sugar rush like really hits and I get a little excited. But at the very least, I will be getting my face painted. I already know that.
It sounds like you're going big with the face painting, not just not a little flower on the cheek. This is like the whole face painted.
Yeah. No. I want to transform into a bunny for sure. So yeah,
I like it.
That's my Easter spirit coming out. And it's such a great holiday too, because I think around springtime, just that renewal. And of course, if you're someone of faith, the religious aspects of renewal that it comes with. I think it's a wonderful time to get together with people and celebrate those things. And we're very lucky. We live in such a beautiful area. We get to experience all the seasons, right? So for those of you who felt we've had a bit of a doldrum, you're in that winter fog, if you will. This is also like one of those things that kind of gets that time clock started on. We're coming out of that. We're going into spring. And that's something that I really look forward to, because I don't know about y'all. I love a good winter and I love snow, but towards the end of winter, I'm like, okay, let's wrap it up here. Like I'm ready for short sleeves.
Only be cozy inside for so long. You have to get outside at some point.
Yep.
The Bunny Bash is April 12th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at your Madison Heights location on Commonwealth Drive.
Yes,
Tharp
ma'am.
Funeral Home. Erica Griffin Hall. If folks want more information, what can they do?
They can go to our website, tharpfuneralhome.com, and then there's information specific about the Bunny Bash on our Facebook page, and it's a whole event there, so you can put that you're interested. You can say, yep, we're going, or you can share it with other people from our Facebook page, and you can also just stop by our office, give us a call. We're funeral directors. We're always there. So,
Erica, thanks so much. We'll talk to you again very soon.
Great. Thanks,
we'll have
guys.
some more happenings in the Burg coming up next on the program. Stick around. We'll be right back.
More of the best of the Burg coming up right after this quick break. Love us or hate us, we want to know what's on your mind. Drop us a line on our comment line. You don't even have to talk to a real human. Call 333-2009, the 24/7 comment line.
Wrapping things up here on Best of the Burg. It's been a great show. Thanks so much to our guests, Jimmy Davis with Bank of the James and Heather Allen with the Arc of Central Virginia. Their Arcade Music Festival is coming up Saturday, April 12th from 1 to 7. And then before you head to the music festival, you can head to the Bunny Bash in Madison Heights, which is from 10 to 3. See, it's perfect. We'll just
it
overlap
works
a
out.
little bit. And that's by Tharp Funeral Home at their Commonwealth Drive location in Madison Heights, with just a spring celebration for the whole family. And thanks to Erica Griffin Hall from Tharp Funeral Home for joining us here on Best of the Burg. Mary and Biscuit with you. And in the final segment, we always do
Happening in the Burg.
So what are some other things going on?
Mary, do you know that Saturday is Amazement Square's 24th birthday?
I do now. I was around when they were born.
So
when Amazement Square was born.
They are going to have the Amazement Square's 24th big messy birthday party. This is Saturday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. You can explore oobleck pools. Did you ever get to make that in school?
No.
Oobleck is awesome.
What is it?
Oobleck is like slime.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
Human-sized bubbles balloon dart art, erupting volcanoes, elephant toothpaste demonstrations, and so much more. They'll also have face painting, Balloon Dude Travis, El Mariachi downtown, Kona Ice, and Ravenwood Fired Pizzas. Programs are included with museum admission, so I do think you've got to go to the museum to get tickets on Saturday, but shouldn't be too big of an issue. Also Saturday from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m., this is at Bank of the James Stadium, the Lynchburg Hillcats Fan Fest, because we are just now a couple weeks before they get their season started on opening day. I believe is April 8th against the Kannapolis Cannonballers, which is the White Sox single low A portion of their franchise. But yeah, bring your friends and family to FanFest on March 22nd. Join us on the field for batting practice. Pick up your season tickets as well if you are a season ticket holder, and enjoy food and drinks in the tap room where they'll be watching March Madness. Local country musician Travis Ray will provide live music during the event. This is a free event for all ages, and they do say that if you'd still like to purchase your tickets or season tickets, you can go to the Hillcats website to do that. Then on Sunday, this is a truck and car show in honor of Cash Gaudio, the young man who was killed recently. This is on Sunday from 2 to 6 p.m. This is in the Boonesboro Shopping Center. I believe it is $5 if you just want to be a spectator. If you are a kid, you get in for free. If you'd like to enter your car, that'll be $10. And this is at the Boonesboro Shopping Center on Sunday from 2 to 6 p.m. And if you have a car you'd like to submit, just shoot us a text and I will send you that link. They have a form that they'd like you to fill out.
Very good. Cash Gaudio, very well loved. And so we hope that it's a nice spring weekend to remember him with this event. Thanks again to our guests today, Jimmy Davis and Heather Allen and Erica Griffin Hall. Thanks to Bank of the James for sponsoring the program. We hope that you have a wonderful weekend. We'll see you back here next Friday on Best of the Burg. Coming up, it's the Vince Show, the next 2 hours of the Vince Show. And we want to remind you, Vince has only been on for a week here on WLNI. We have at our Facebook page, WLNI Radio, a little poll, and it says, do you like Vince? Is he the guy? Should we keep him? So go there and vote. We think we know how it's going, but we want your input. And here comes Vince. Have a great weekend, a great week. We'll see you back here next Friday. So long.